Hello, everyone. I'm Walter Hooper, owner of WA Hooper Marketing, and today this is the first Nottcast podcast segment of 2022. So, Happy New Year. Hope everyone is having a great year so far and is accomplishing all the goals and achievements that you are wanting to go for professionally and personally. And so, we're going to get right into it. This episode is featuring fellow member here at the Nott, Donna Broderick-Narva, and I got to know Donna a little bit throughout the last month or so. I'm still fairly new here, so without further ado, Donna, hello, how are you?
Good. How you doing, Walter?
I'm good. I'm well. How are you?
Good. I'm great.
So, Donna, why don't you tell me and the viewers about yourself and what you do? Let's start there.
Okay, great. Hi. So again, my name's Donna, and I am a pharmaceutical sales rep, and I work for a company called Optum Pharmacy. And I work at home even before the pandemic. I was new to working at home. I had been in different corporate America, but having to be in an office for 25 years. So took this job, it was in 2019, and then I had a great first, few months of it, and then the pandemic hit, and I found myself, even though I was working at home, being home more and more and more, just because offices were closed. I couldn't get in hospitals, I couldn't travel. And last year, should I go into the flood thing or?
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so that worked out okay, me working at home, but then I was working home more and more and more. My husband always worked at home. He's in our basement. We have a small house, and his office is down there. And then when just before July 1st, I think it was the end of June of this summer, our basement flooded, and then so did many in our area. And at that point, his office was completely destroyed. And we had, I think both kids were home because my son was home from college, and we were working at home in this house, and it was going
crazy.
So.
Wow. So, well, first off, I'm sorry to hear about the flooding.
Still working on that.
Yeah, well, that destroyed a lot of basements and a lot of other surrounding communities. So, yeah, but we're glad you're here. So, why don't you tell me a little bit about what got you into pharmaceutical repping and all that, and that journey?
Oh, that journey. Okay. I had been in healthcare philanthropy for, like I said, 25 years. I'd worked in a lot of capital campaigns, building hospitals, building new programs at some of the Metro Detroit area hospitals, and had worked at a university as well for many years. And I just wanted something different, and I had known working with healthcare professionals my whole life. I know they like to get up at 6 a.m. I know they're hard to get in touch with. I know that their office manager is the one you need to talk to. So it seemed like an easy transition to go into something different, which really just was what I needed. And it's a wonderful first year, and it's still been good, but it's just everything has changed with the pandemic and being able to get in where we need to be. So a lot of virtual stuff, tons of virtual stuff, but so that's where I am now, and I'm happy I made the transition. So,
well, yeah, I think it's so important, like when you're happy doing what you do, and you find a career and you go down a path that you're really ecstatic about. I think that's so important for so many reasons. Anywho, the Nott.
Yes.
So,
okay. so I had been thinking about for even prior to the flood, I was like, I got to find a place. I have to have some consistency to my day, and that was what I wasn't used to, because people who work at home have that consistency. Like if that's what their career was, but I was always at an office from 8 to at least 5, and so I needed this anyway before we got displaced. And finally, when that happened, I kind of reached out on one of our swap sites, and I said, anyone know any offices that I might be able to rent? And and this came about. I'd driven by the building. I grew up in this area. I drove by the building. I'm like, what is going on here? When did that come up? And so I saw it, and I was familiar with the name, but I didn't know what it was. And then once I needed it, and I'm like, I've got to find some place. And the coffee shops were closed, a lot of them still pandemic, or they just are hard to make these calls. I mean, I have confidential calls I have to make with physicians and nurses and stuff. So, so this was just like a huge win when I contacted Kevin.
So first off, it's been great to getting to know you and the fellow members here at the Nott. What has it done for you, for your business? Have you been able to bring in more people, spread awareness of the place, and what has it done for you? How has it been a benefit for you and what you do?
Well, it's been a benefit just establishing a routine, a place to go, to stay motivated, because getting out of the house and coming here, okay, I'm going to put an X amount of, I'm going to stay there for 5 hours, I'm going to do this, or to have a place where I can take a conference call and know that I'm not going to be interrupted is huge. I did refer out to one of my colleagues who was interested in it, and she came in, and she was hoping the company would pay part of, but they just weren't right now. So, but she had her VP coming in from town. She didn't know where to work with them. She didn't want to work with them in her house. So she rented one of the rooms here. She came in for the day, and they, used the conference room. Rave reviews from her. So,
yeah, and I think when it comes to co-working spaces, you have that escape from the house, and not that working from home can't be done. I mean, I did it for a long time, and I'm sure you did the same thing, but there's just something about going to a designated location where that it's primarily for work. Right, so, whenever I see you come in here, I always see you on your laptop, and then you have your headset on, you're making phone calls, like you're in the zone. And not that you can't do that at home, but I think this just adds that extra element of professionalism to whatever it is that you do, not only for yourself as a business person or a business owner, but also for your clients, because then your clients now see that, oh, okay, you're at the Nott. It's in Grosse Pointe Park, and that's a pretty pretty decent, nice area. So that's really neat. Tell me more about it. I mean, have you had that reaction from?
Not so much, only because I'm a national company, and most of I'm not able to bring my clients here, like they're at the offices and they're at the hospitals and stuff. But I have had to give presentations where I'm like, I need to not be distracted. I need to be on my game. I need to not have the mailman come in and, drop things off. So it's been great with that, being able to get in a room or being able to even work, at times I've come in here late at night, and it's been wonderful. Like, we don't all have the same hours, right? So, where no one's been in later after regular business hours and just, get 8 hours of work done in 2 hours. So that's been great.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think stated before, and we both agree on, is that it just adds that different, it boosts that element of professionalism in whatever you do. And to go on and to segue into into my next question I have for you here, who would you like to see become fellow members here at the Nott? Is there specific alliances for you professionally that you would like to see in here, or who do you see benefiting from becoming members here at the Nott?
Well, I think it's interesting. I mean, I don't think there's a specific, profession or kind of demographic. I do think that this is an amazing facility. It's spotless. It's comfortable. Everything that you need is here. I mean, I can't use the printers or anything because we have confidentiality, with dealing with patient information and HIPAA and stuff. But, but if you could, Kevin sets it right up for you. So you have everything you need everything and more, including your beverages, including your chips, including, eating lunch, and just like an office, making coffee, so it's that part of it. Anybody would love this, in my opinion, that and the people I've met here are all different kinds. You've got real estate agent, you've got, I think the guy next door is selling yachts, you've got some kind of interesting professions, and I always think that adds a lot of value.
Yeah, it's a melting pot.
Yes.
It's a melting pot of professions, and I like you, I like that. I think that makes it unique and cool here. And I've also noticed too, and maybe you could help me kind of like analyze this part too. I also noticed too, like when you come in here, it's like you said, it's very comfortable. It's very, like you just kind of feel a welcome environment, and then everyone's just kind of doing their own thing, but like they'll go out of their way to say, hey, how you doing?
Exactly.
And I think that's so important.
Exactly. It's kind of, I'm feeling kind of isolated right now, just with the circumstance of not being able to get out much, and just things that have changed, and working by myself and working at home, and it's nice just to see other people, where you don't have the office, where you might have had the office of every day going in and seeing the same people over and over again. Maybe you saw them too much. It's just nice to just to say hi to, hey, what do you do? That kind of thing. So.
Well, here's an idea I just thought of, and go with me on this. How would you feel, and Kevin, if you're watching and listening, this is hint. How would you like it if there was a mixer held here, but for the members only? And then that way, we can all get to know each other a little bit more. Maybe do like a round table of like a 60-second of each person, introduce yourself, tell us what you do, maybe a fun fact, and then, how long you've been a member here. And then it's just a way to kind of just network with the other members here, get to know them, and really get that sense of community even stronger.
I think it's a great idea. We could open the Bottles of Baker Mark that's been over at
yeah, that's please drink responsibly, but yes, there is Maker's Mark here. Just saying, it's
No, that would be great. I'm not here every day. It's who's there when I'm here, and timing wise, and so it would be nice to get to know other people that way.
Yeah, for sure. But we're gonna go live here on Facebook for just a moment, and I'm gonna ask you some fun, lighthearted questions.
Oh gosh, okay, didn't know that was part of it. Thank you.
Oh yeah, well, I thought Kevin told you about that.
No, surprise.
But anyways, we are live on the Nott Facebook page, my company business page, and also another networking group that I'm a part of, their business page as well. Anyways, and it looks like the streaming here is it going? It's like loading. Maybe not. Just kidding.
Cannot, right?
Oh, here we are. Okay. We're back. So anyways, hello everybody. Welcome to the first episode of the Nottcast podcast segment here at the Nott in Grosse Pointe Park. It's 2022. Happy New Year. My name is Walter Hooper. I am a fellow member here at the Nott and owner of W.A. Hooper Marketing, and I am here today with Donna Broderick-Narva and of Optum, and we're just chit-chatting and just talking about all things the Nott. And so, Donna, I want to ask you some fun, lighthearted questions for you.
Okay, great.
Well, first off, Donna, why don't you tell everyone what it is you do at Optum and your role, and also kind of how you found out about the Nott real quickly.
Okay, great. So I'm a regional account manager. I'm in sales. So, and I run hemophilia and rare bleeding disorders, which is an extremely rare genetic disease, but that patients need factor to survive their entire life. So it's a real tight community. And I just started this job a couple of years ago with a new career change. So, and I'm sorry, what else did you ask?
And how did you find out about the Nott? And what do you like?
Okay.
What do you like best about the Nott and being a member here?
Yeah. So I was again driving by. I grew up in the area. Looked at this building. I'm like, what did they do there? That is amazing. And I had been working at home and looking for some place to give some routine to my work day because it was such a transition to be in an office and then to work at home. And I was familiar with WeWork, but I never had been there. And I was working out of coffee shops when I wanted to get away. But again, you can't control confidential phone calls and the environment and the Wi-Fi and everything. So when I found this place, I was overwhelmed at how beautiful it was. I mean, spotless and just the modern, everything. You can tell Kevin went into every single detail of what would be a comfortable place. I almost feel like we're in New York or something walking in here, Chicago. But I just love it. Like I said, it's put some routine in my day in a place that I can go and, be uninterrupted unless I want to be interrupted. So
that is a great answer. And again, props to you, Kevin, for bulking up this place and making it just a tech powerhouse and just a powerhouse of a co-working facility. So we have some, like I said, we got some lighthearted, fun questions here for you. Donna, when you are not busy, I can see what I did there, not. When you are not busy making moves and doing that pharmaceutical rep thing, what are some hobbies and activities that you enjoy on your free time or downtime?
Well, I enjoy working out. A couple days a week. I started about a year and a half ago. So we call it the Old Women's Exercise Club. But it's amazing, and it's training and just fun, and incorporate step aerobics into it with weightlifting and stuff. It's great. It's pretty much saved my life. So, and I'll come in here from there often just sweating, and I'm like, well, I'm over this way. So I like that, working out, spending time with my family. We travel up north a lot, so up over in Leelanau Peninsula area. So
that was a gorgeous area.
Yes, my husband grew up there. So.
Oh, excellent! Very good. And a couple more for you. What are some of your professional and personal goals now for 2022? It's a new year, new you, all that fun stuff. What are your goals professionally and personally that you hope to achieve for 2022?
Well, that's tough. Professionally, because our company had been bought last year, it worked for a different company, and it was just kind of a year of everything, just getting our division just being created and everything. I just hope to have a more planned out, methodical routine for this year with my customers and clients and stuff. It was just kind of all over the place last year. So happy that I feel like, this year's already started out in a way where, I can predict what's coming on next month and the month after. So that's kind of my professional right now. The personal, I'm getting my finances in order. I just realized I'm closer to retirement than I ever imagined. And that to me is something that I'm like, wow, as you hit certain ages, you're just like, okay, I've got young kids still, I've got a 14 and a 20-year-old, and, we're older parents, and now I'm like, okay, it's time for us now. So.
Well, those are some really lofty and good goals to have, and I wish you all the best with it, and I know you'll accomplish them. Put your mind to it, you can do it, as the old saying goes. And then last question for you. Being a member here at the Nott, I know, it's been very beneficial for you. Who are some, what types of professions or businesses would you like to see here at the Nott, or do you think would be a good fit for the Nott? Or more specifically, why should people looking to have another working space, whether it's not just their home or maybe another change of scenery, why the Nott?
Well, I think the conference rooms are outstanding. So whether you just want to have a meeting someplace that the facilities are there, I think you can bring food in. You've got two beautiful conference rooms. So I think that would be great for somebody who maybe doesn't need the daily office environment, but needs something that, for those special occasions. And as far as groups of people, again, it's not so much who or, certain types or a demographic or anything. Just people who are looking just for a comfortable place to do their work that maybe just gives them some motivation that they might not have somewhere else. Would be a good fit.
I wholeheartedly agree. Donna, thank you so much for taking the time today and chatting with me, and it's been a pleasure getting to know you as
Walter.
a fellow member here at the Nott. Donna, is there a way that people can contact you if they want to know more about what you do, or is there any sort of call to action that you have, or?
I'm really not sure. I'm on Facebook. If you can private message me on Facebook, and I'll be happy to tell you what I know. So
awesome.
Okay.
Well, Donna, thank you so much again, and this has been another episode of the Nottcast, where we feature fellow members here of the Nott, and also soon to be featuring neighboring local businesses in the community. So once again, thank you so much. I am Walter Hooper, owner of WA Hooper Marketing, and this has been another segment of the Nottcast. Happy New Year, and go after those goals, people. You can do it.